Morning, ladies and gentlemen, CT5 once again. This time, we're going to discuss a little bit about cerebral palsy. I'm going to start by the definition. Two definitions. Cerebral palsy, as defined by Google Gemini, states a group of permanent, non progressive neurological disorders that appear in infancy or early childhood, affecting movement, muscle tone, and posture. It is caused by abnormal brain development or damage to the developing brain, usually before birth. Symptoms range from mild to severe, often including stiff muscles, involuntary movement, and poor coordination. The definition of palsy, however, states paralysis, especially that which is accompanied by involuntary tremors. Now, these are definitions provided by dictionary and AI. I myself wouldn't trust them too much. In my circumstance with my cerebral palsy, it is what is known as hemiparesis, which means weakness on one side. I've had this condition my entire life, and the term HEMI means hemisphere, as we all know. And so, hemisphere is one side of the body, and ironically, this is affecting my right side. I've overcome this partially with my hand on my wrist, on my right hand on my right wrist, because I've been playing guitar for 28 years now. So I have strength in there, but I have no muscle tone from my wrist to my forearm, from my forearm to my arm, from my shoulder all the way down to my knee, and from my knee to my ankle. I can move my joints, but the muscle tone doesn't exist. I particularly cannot flex my ankle in any direction, and I have no control over my right foot, which is a problem, considering I have difficulty walking in some instances. However, I have to walk everywhere because, due to the cerebral palsy and the epilepsy, as well as the legal blindness, I can't drive. Secondly, I can't afford to drive. My CP was caused by a stage 5 cerebral hemorrhage 2 days after birth, and so you once a hemorrhage happens, you can't necessarily fix it. So that's permanent neurological damage, which also caused the epilepsy and legal blindness and several other things. But cerebral palsy is a general term that encompasses many different neurological disabilities and muscle movement, and coordination, especially muscle tone, and many other things encompass this generalization of neurological disabilities. And so you, it depends upon the diagnosis. This can be mild in my case to severe. I mean, I myself have seen both conditions, or both situations. Cerebral palsy can become so severe that people become in a vegetative state, and it is not something to take lightly. And they have to, with many of these severe cases, have a full familial support system. And so I wouldn't wish cerebral palsy in any state on anyone. And so there are things that with cerebral palsy, you're basically born with it, and it's the only normal that you know of. And so don't know anything different. Looking from the outside in, people may have the misconception that if you're mobile, you're able to work certain jobs. That could be true. In my case, I can't really lift a whole lot of weight because of the muscular atrophy or muscular weakness on the right side of my body. And I can't control, I can't, basically, whenever I lift, if I'm on my back, I can't lift anything up for a long period of time because I'm only lifting with my left side. That is because I have strength in my left side and no strength at all in my right side. And it's a very, you know, I'm using what knowledge I have to manage this in a way. I mean, it can be overcome. Once a hemorrhage happens, it happens. And the disabilities that are resulting from that hemorrhage have to be managed either by, let's say, physical therapy. Some things with cerebral palsy can be manageable. But again, there's so many different categories and so many different severities that I can't really get into major detail on this one. Because with cerebral palsy, I'm quite curious. The basic things that and adaptations that you have used to manage the situations that you find yourself in. I wouldn't say because of cerebral palsy, but there's certain things that some of us can't do. I can't lift things that at a time. And the coordination within my right hand is, I guess you could use the term distorted, because my right side had developed completely differently than my left side because of the cerebral palsy and the brain damage. And so, this is cerebral palsy. Once again, I'm curious as to the adaptations and the methods that you've used over the years that have enabled you to manage it and maybe not just suppress it, but adapt to a higher level of, I guess you could use the term functionality. um, and your particular thoughts and feelings about how physicians in general think about it, and you know how you've proven them wrong over the years as far as the adaptation, as far as the public perception, and many other things. Once again, comments are more than welcome. I would really appreciate it if we could get together on any video platform available and kind of educate one another on this one. And if you would also hit the like and subscribe to this channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And maybe we, as a disabled, as a community of folks, can make a difference with the general public and with maybe even with certain medical communities. And I mean, and just, make a change in the world. So you can once again contact me on any video platform available. And I would appreciate your thoughts and comments on this. Once again, this is Cripple Tales 5. Until next time, signing off.